Hey everyone, welcome to Gadget Talk. Check out this new background I got here. This is awesome. I know I'm not in my office. I'm actually out. It may look a little familiar because, well, you know what? I'm here in Chad's workshop. I'm at the holy grail of gadget builder workshops. It's really cool. I get to spend some time here. It's a lot of fun. But Chad, what is up with the Seattle weather?
I don't know. It's never been this way before. So if you hear a little bit of noise in the background, we have air conditioning running because it's 113 degrees here right now. So
yeah, I come to the Pacific Northwest and never did I think, you know what? It's actually cooler in Memphis at this point.
I think it's cooler everywhere.
I think it's cooler in Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona right now. I mean, It's just insane. It's crazy. Adios and saying not fair over here.
Audie can come out anytime. Anybody wants to come build, they can.
I've getting to go through these stuff over here. And Chad, something new behind you?
Got a new toy here. They got the Glowforge. It just came in, Saturday technically. I didn't unwrap it till yesterday morning. And I cut the first thing on it last night, but I haven't touched it since.
Yeah, Dave. It is super, super hot. But we got a fun show for you guys tonight. We got several guests that's going to be joining us. We're talking about sound modules, and we're going to get to see some of their builds. And let me tell you, these are some really great builds, and it's going to be a lot of fun. But, of course, before we get going, what do we have to do? We have to go ahead and throw it to our sponsors, so let's go ahead and do that.
If you have not become a patron of the Geocache Talk Network, what are you waiting for? Patron levels start as low as a Bison Tube level at $3 a month. The sign up is easy. Simply go to the Geocache Talk website and click on the Become a Patron button, or go to patreon.com/Geocache Talk. Patrons now get the famous Blackout coin, invites to special events, and other really great items throughout the year. Become a patron today.
Logwork, the creators of the fantastic logbook, made with genuine Right in the Rain paper. The logbook's designed for the micro containers of the present and future, geared towards the hider who'd rather go caching than doing cache maintenance. Find them at logwork.com. That's LOGWERK.com.
Have you subscribed to FTF Magazine yet? FTF Magazine is the #1 geocaching magazine available. It is a quarterly magazine that you can be part of. Submit your geocaching milestones and adventures to be published. FTF Magazine is also interactive with puzzles to solve and the hunt to find Spartacus. If you can solve the puzzle or find Spartacus, then you will be entered in to win a special pack tag. Every new subscription, you will receive a special swag pack. Subscribing is easy. Just visit FTF's website, ftfgeo.com. Don't miss out and subscribe today.
All right, so everybody, Dave, it is 82 in Houston, or where you're at there. That sounds really nice. That sounds really
I would
nice.
take 82 today.
Yeah, that's going to be crazy. So, but it's been a lot of fun. I got some of Chad's caches today. Did the Superhero Jeopardy, which is a sound module cache, which is a lot of fun, and an RFID card, which Dave Wagner did that one, and then Chad inherited it and changed it, and it's just a really cool.
I just changed the lipstick on the pig. The pig's still the same. No.
Hey, that was not a pig.
The interior, it was a great job.
Derek of the Northwest.
I only put a different face on it.
Not when it's this hot. No. So, 69 and rain. You know, the rain would be nice because it would cool it off a little bit.
I take the 69. I don't want the rain. We get enough of it.
Yeah. So, lipstick was right, wrong button. I go down. Lipstick was a big plus.
Nice, Dave.
And it's hot here in Canada. All right, Hugh, tell us how hot it is in Canada, but use the correct Celsius, not whatever y'all use. So, but yeah, we're just got a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of fun here tonight. Getting to be here with Chad. This is really great. But let's go ahead and bring in our first guest, you think?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, so we're going to bring in Andrew, and he has done a phenomenal, really cool gadget build. I've seen pictures of this, and he's got it in his background, and I got to let you share it. Here it is. Welcome, Andrew.
Hi, guys.
Andrew.
So, all right, so let's talk about your cache that you got there. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about it, and how you came up with the concept of, or actually, before we even get to that, sorry, I'm putting the cart before the horse. Introduce yourself. Tell us how long you've been caching and what got you into caching.
All right, my name is Andrew, and I'm in California. I got into caching just looking up stuff on YouTube and came across a bunch of the geocaching blogger and then Derek's channel and started to build some gadget caches. With about 40 finds, I built my first birdhouse gadget cache and got some attention in my area. So that was really fun, and I've just been building the birdhouses ever since. I started in September of 2020, so I'm less than a year.
That's really cool. That's really great. I love that you're already building those caches, birdhouses, and already raising the game at already 42 Celsius. I don't understand that. How hot is that?
Like 90, I don't know.
Yeah, I know it's hot. So I know it's a lot warmer than it's supposed to be in Canada. I don't know what I think. The Earth is flipped.
So
So
I don't know.
All right.
So did Andrew answer what got him into building gadget caches?
Yeah, I was watching us.
Did you mention that?
You did,
Okay.
right? That's what got you into building it?
I was reading the chat. Sorry.
I saw
Squirrel.
West Virginia Tim on the geocaching bloggers videos, and then I saw Derek's channel, and that got me into it.
That's really cool. Thanks for that. I'm glad that inspired you. Okay, 108. Yeah, that's hot.
Yeah.
That's hot too. Yeah. I think the U.S. and Canada and South America have actually switched places this week.
Yeah.
So
We're gonna switch back. I want to be more of northern California, maybe a little more southern.
yeah,
I like the 80s.
yeah,
I'm good with that.
yeah. Sorry, that's they need to move the equator back down to where it's supposed to be at this point. So that's really cool. Sorry, squirrel and we're in the same room together. It's crazy, and our brains are baked. So now, what do you do for a living? Do you build? Are you a carpenter, or what do you do? Because the birdhouse that you did looks really cool.
No, I work. Been working at Trader Joe's out here in California, and I've taken some time off with COVID to take care of my daughter and my nephews. And I just have a really small workshop with one jigsaw and a screwdriver, a drill, and not much else. Kind of tucked in the corner of the garage, so I make a lot with about 20 feet of space.
Well, and that's good because that just shows those that you don't have to have a lot of tools and a lot of space to make a really cool gadget cache, and that's just really cool.
Yeah.
So
I don't have a jigsaw in here,
no,
you're ahead of me on that part.
I'm trying to think if I have a jigsaw, but no, do I still have that jigsaw? I inherited a jigsaw that's like older than me from my grandfather, so I don't know if I even still have that jigsaw. I think I got rid of it because I think something happened with it. It got a short in the cable. It was really bad. So, all right. So why don't you go ahead and walk us? We have some pictures, and do you want to do the pictures, or do you want to actually walk us through your actual what you have there?
I think the pictures will be helpful to see the mechanism on the inside.
Okay. So
we won't be able to see that anymore, but yeah.
All right.
So we start by playing with the perch here on the birdhouse.
okay.
And kind of find the right spot here, and then the perch is removed.
Okay. So is that like an
Is
Allen?
that a hook or an Allen wrench?
This is the tent stake.
Okay, 10 stake.
So a hook. You're using it as a
It's
hook.
like a hook. Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. And then the key is removed out of the top here.
And what I love about that is that is an actual key, and the way you use the 629 to actually make the teeth of the key. That's really cool.
Yeah, this show when you guys put out the challenge was supposed to be on the 29th.
Oh, sorry. So yeah, it is tomorrow. Well, hey, we have some viewers watching in Australia, so it is the 29th, so it still works.
But anyway, yeah. So this little piece just fits into the key here, and then when you turn it, that kind of locks it into place for the perch.
Oh, that's really cool.
Just
And then the key actually locks the door from opening.
yes,
Is that what it does?
Yeah. So the key, once we remove the key, you can see there's a slit in the top here,
Right.
And that locks the top of the top lid down, so you can't get into it until you do that. And then in here, there's a little gate latch that's lifted up.
Okay.
And when you open the gate latch, there's another latch here on the side.
Okay.
And you open it up.
And then I hear the Scream, and we got this guy from Scream on there. That's really cool. So it activates when you pull the door down. It hits a screamer sound module.
So is it a switch or is it light activated or motion?
So it's got a screaming goat in it that I cut the goat off of, and so it pushes the go button.
Okay.
And on the bottom here, there's just a. I don't know if we can see that, but there's a.
I think we have a picture of that.
Picture of it.
We can pull up a picture of that one.
There's a screw that pushes the bottom. Yeah, there you go. There's a screw that pushes that button on the bottom.
Oh, okay.
So the hole here that you're seeing in the picture is actually where the screw comes up and hits the inside here where it hits the button. So that is really cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and kick through some of these other pictures, because with the inside of it, there's the sound module there that's actually put into the cache that's actually locked in there. So when the door opens, it hits that latch. I really like this. I mean, one thing I really love is the whole crack that you have on the way the door opens up. So how did you do that? Walk us through the process of how you made that, because you said you only have a jigsaw. I mean, that makes sense. A jigsaw
and drill, yeah.
Jigsaw and drill. But walk us through that process, because those that don't have a lot of tools, that's a really great way, because that's a wide. That's not just like one take through with a jigsaw.
No, it is not. So just it was kind of tricky because it's just okay, we're screaming over here. It's cedar fence planks, which are really handy to build with because they come to the right width you need already. And then I just cut a nice wide space there so that I could make the turn with my jigsaw, and made it wide enough to be able to make the turns all the way up as I was cutting, because going those right angles with the jigsaw is a little tricky.
Yeah, it is. I've tried. It's not fun. So that's really cool, and just a lot of people are like Dave Wagner said, simple is ingenious. Immediately got his attention right when he saw it. Just the look of it. Oh, and then when you open up there, there's the cache. So that's just really.
So that face that you have on that Scream face, I know there's a technical word for it, but is that a picture that you Mod Podged on there, or use some kind of?
I cut it out of vinyl with my Cricut printer, and then stuck the vinyl on there and hit it with some spray paint.
Oh, okay, nice.
Okay, really cool.
It's painted on there, and same thing I do for my geocaching logos on the outside. It's cut out of vinyl, and then I just spray paint it on there.
You're just making a template with the vinyl and then spray painting it.
Yeah.
Nice. I know a lot of people use those Cricuts for builds right now, and that's great. They come in really handy.
Right.
My logo down here, same thing. I got it out of the Cricut with the Cricut cutter.
Okay. Excellent. And are you planning to put a lock on there, or is that just going to be open there? Just when it screams, they scream, or?
Well, it's.
Sorry, just hearing it screaming in the background is just funny.
It's got the padlock here, and then you put in the 629 from the key.
Right. Okay. 69 is the code. Oh, that's really cool. I was hoping that's what that was going to be. It really was.
You were just checking to make sure it was him, right?
I meant to say that. Yeah. And Pizza Ninja, I love caches that can just scream unique. Good pun right there. At when you first see it. Yeah, that was really great. And then of course, Tricacheus. This is very cool to see how you made it. Great job. And that's a lot coming from Chad Tricacheus there. So that's really cool, because he is a carpenter, and just seeing how you do that is really cool. I really do kudos on doing that key with a jigsaw.
Yeah.
Well, I have a Dremel tool also.
That still.
So I cut it out with the jigsaw and then finished it with the Dremel.
That's a lot of work.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah,
That's really good. That's really good. I'm trying to. I got to go back through the pictures real quick because I think I may have a better picture of the key. I'm trying to think if I see one.
I don't
see one. I see one. This picture here of where it's coming up out of the top, so you kind of see a little bit of out there. How that is with the perch. I like what you did with the perch too. That's really cool because that locks that into place. That's really cool.
So are you planning on placing this out already? Do you have a place for it?
I don't know yet. I had been talking with Doug Rumba Cats when he was on one of my hikes for my Indiana Jones birdhouse series, and he said when he goes to get permission at different places and talks to whatever business, it's really handy to have an actual Gadget cache with you. So this one might travel with me for a little while before I put it out.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Houston Dave says good cache for Halloween, so that might be a good aspect of it too. So that's just really cool. All right. So was this the most? I don't know. The trickier build that you've done so far, or is there something that you've already done a little bit more tricky, or what did you think of when you were doing this build?
Well, they all have different aspects. I like to try different stuff. I have a Indiana Jones cache that has a maze that you work your way up through the maze to get the bison tube out, and that was pretty tricky because I routed it out with a Dremel tool, so that only took about 400 passes with the Dremel tool to cut it all the way.
Yeah,
only 400.
I've done one like that, and it's a lot easier with a router. I'll tell you that.
Oh, really?
I'm just saying.
Or CNC.
Yeah, CNC. I mean, yeah. So, but
Because
yeah,
I can
I've
say
seen that.
enter
Cache.
and go get a cup of coffee and come back and it's done. So.
Yeah, not everybody has it. And I was drooling over it back here. I was trying to figure out how I can get it on the plane with me to go home, but it's not going to fit.
It's heavy.
Yeah, or even this Glowforce, but I don't think he's going to even try and let that one go out yet. So, wow, that's just.
The thing I wanted to say, this bottom platform right here, if you take, there's 3 screws in the bottom of the cache, so that this little shelf lifts out really easy, and you can get to the sound module to replace it or change batteries, because that's always a tricky thing you have to design in before you build it.
Yeah, and I love that because we're talking, even when we were out at a couple chats today, we're looking at maintenance-wise, and as gadget builders, that's something as you're building it, you have to think about, okay, what's going to break? If I have to replace batteries, how am I going to replace the batteries? What's going to be the easiest? Because you don't want to spend a lot of time out there. You want to get it in and out and get it going fast. Oh, sorry. Ryan says, can't wait to see what you make with the Glowforge.
Yeah, me neither.
I came in yesterday.
I cut one thing yesterday. It was a simple puzzle. It's underneath that mat right there. And that's all I really had time for. It took like 2 minutes to cut. I actually, while we were waiting on the show beforehand, I actually designed something real quick to cut, but found out it was going to take over an hour, so decided not to have that in the background cutting.
Those are such clean cuts, man.
It's pretty cool.
It's
almost done with. It's almost like a laser.
Is it a laser?
Oh, man.
Yeah. Man,
Where's the shark? But anyways, so I'm looking forward to it. It'll be fun.
Yeah, now I get to drool over another piece of equipment that you have. I don't have space.
You can come out anytime and use it.
I know, but all right. I can tell you my plane story, which I may go into a little bit from yesterday. If I have flights coming from Charlotte to here like we had yesterday, no. So, we'll get into that maybe toward the end. But yeah. I don't want to take any time from our guests today. But it was, let's just say it was, we had to make an emergency landing right after takeoff in Charlotte. I won't go into any more detail of that. And that
you just went into it.
Well, no. I'm like, hold on. I can't get to Gary's if he sealed the beans thing. I don't think we have that in here. No, I don't have it in this show. And I'm not going to worry about it.
Well, let's get to our next guest.
We'll get to our next guest and we'll
talk about it.
So there's a little tease. You might get another part of after our next guest. Andrew, stick around. We'll bring you right back up after we get with our other guest. Thank you. And
thanks,
awesome
Andrew.
build on there. All right. So next we got with us, he's been with us before, and he has done some phenomenal caches, and we're so excited to have him back.
Yes.
None other than Rumba Cats. Doug.
Hey, Doug, how you doing?
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for
Hey,
coming
yeah,
on.
great.
Anytime you want to come on.
Yep.
You just got to bring the energy like you did in Joshua's.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh,
That was the
awesome.
best.
That was awesome.
When you're taking the stuff out of the trunk, I'm like,
Oh,
where's
man,
he get
that was
that? I
such a
need to have
good
that
night.
energy.
And I know
Yeah, that was
it's not
awesome,
hard to
man.
have. Yeah, it's not
Oh,
hard to have the
yeah,
energy
he's-
with Josh.
He is like
The
a
infectious.
high voltage power line of crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's awesome.
I know he's pushed me off a hill. He's done. I don't.
Yeah, we saw him push that down. You kind of edited it out.
He
but
pushed that, but he pushed me. I can tell you that. And then I mean, we've been locked up in a escape room before. I mean, oh my gosh, it's crazy with Josh.
I'm waiting for him to come out here and do a build with me.
And, do you want him to blow
Yeah, he's
something
awesome.
up?
Yeah, let's do it.
So, all right, Doug. So we got you, and actually, you have two caches that you.
I do.
You have Sal all with you. So, which one do you want to talk
Yes.
about first?
So, so last time during this Gadget Cache talk, I thought, I've always wanted to make this cache. I've always had it in my head, which is this one right here, and I'll tell you in a second. It was good. I thought this was a great opportunity to make it, to motivate me to make it. So I finally made it. I've had this on my head for a long time. So this right here there's lots of glare there, but anyways, so this is a birdhouse cache. I have the door open right now, but so you come across it. I'm not going to give it away. Oh yeah, there you go. And so there's a magnet in the hole right there, and there's a very simple maze. You can see it. It doesn't take much effort whatsoever to solve. But
Right.
So the way it works is, so most people are just going to come up on it, and so I'll show you. So there's a little steel ball there, and
Right.
So you kind of move it through. I'll move it through real quick. Okay, so it gets to this point. There's a little latch that's undone right there, and you can open it up. And let's see if I think I put a little knob on this there.
It's okay, Doug. We're only live.
Yep, it's live. I mean, Chad Sauter
There we
live
go.
one time.
I do. Oh,
So when this comes on, this starts playing. I don't know if so there's a
We got
picture
Rick.
of Rick Astley in there.
yeah.
And
What's that
so
called?
there's no
Rick-
log in there. There's nothing. It's just that. And
Okay.
so now they're going to figure out where the log is. So I'm going to turn this down because this is going to go on forever. And so what happens is, oh, here we go. There we go.
Yeah.
There's Rick Astley right
And
there.
now we won't get that copyright strike either. All right, good.
And lots of blinking lights. And
That's
so
really cool.
what happens is they get inside it. It's kind of a trick, it's kind of a little deceptive. And
Right.
so there's no log. What do you do? So now they got to figure out where's the log. And so after a lot of searching, they'll finally figure it out. And it's actually in the base of the magnet. So you can screw off the top of that. And it's right there.
Oh,
Exactly.
That is awesome.
So this is a red herring cache. But
very Tricaceous
That's
like.
cool.
Very Tricaceous like.
If he does one like that, we know where it came from.
Yep. Have you met up with Tricaceous? Did you steal something from his book?
Yeah.
That we're all wanting to get.
oh, it's inspired. Yeah, it's inspired by Tricaceous for sure. Yeah. Oh, it is actually. It's the little strongman. I think that's
Yeah,
That's
where
where I
it was
got
in the
the idea.
hammer. It was in the hammer.
yeah, the little strongman. Yeah, that's where this
So-
idea came from. So,
Yeah.
anyways, the sound module I got from Amazon. Here's another one. It's like that. So it's $20, I guess, from Amazon. I sent Derek in the Amazon link.
Yep.
And it's really easy to use. So you have 2 volumes on it. You can upload an MP3 player, I think up to 120 megabytes or something like that.
Which is about
And,
120 seconds.
Yeah, so it's really easy to use. And so you just plug this in your USB and it acts just like, so first I was really concerned that I'm not that technically skilled in electronics or computers kind of thing. So I was a little dubious about it, but it worked great after a while. It worked great immediately. So I was really happy with this. So this is really easy to use. There's a switch on here. You can turn it off, medium volume, high volume. Works really great.
That's really cool.
Okay.
And of course,
It's just a silly cache.
It is.
What activated the sound? Did you mention that?
Yeah, what activated the sound when you opened it up?
There's an infrared motion sensor or body heat motion sensor right here.
Okay.
So when that opens up, yeah. So there it is, right there.
Okay.
So that I had to actually wave my hand in front of it when I opened it up. But anyways, that's how it works. Pretty simple, straightforward. Doesn't take much effort. I just put it in there and it works great. And it's nice and loud too. That's what I really like about these.
Yeah.
So So I'm going to show you my second one.
Well, Chad Tricasha says, I wish I would have had that thought of the first time. And they also told us on here that, Doug, you're me. I mean, I guess that's a huge compliment because, Chad, you do these too. So, I mean, that's great. So, and it was inspired by the Little Strong Man. So, hey,
it was, yes,
so
exactly.
Really cool.
I thought, how can I do that? I want to come up with something that's enticing. I mean, the first thing they're going to think of is, oh, I got to do the maze. All right. And so they'll do the maze. It's like, oh, this is a Rumba Cats? This is too easy. Kind of thing.
Right.
And so they'll get through, and then it's like, I've been punked. All right. I've been rickrolled.
Right. So,
okay, what do we do now? Let's see. Yeah.
Right. So, how does the ball reset? Do you have to run the ball back through the maze to reset it, or what do you have to do?
Actually, when I put it back in there, it got the little latch. It's supposed to drop down, but it didn't for some reason this time.
Oh, okay.
Of course it wouldn't. When it's on camera.
Live TV. It's live TV.
That's how it always works.
Yeah.
Trust me, I can tell you.
I edit my videos.
Once it unlatches, it'll fall down.
Okay. That's really cool.
Anyways.
So, and then you got another one that we kind of had a glimpse.
Now, I love this next one.
This one is so cool.
I want to do one like
I
this.
saw this in Josh's video this last weekend. And I was like, that is so cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So this
is beta test live.
I'd be afraid of it getting taken.
No, you might have seen this on Geocaching Blogger did one. I showed this to them. There's 4 puzzles you have to get through in order to get to your car. So anyways, I'm not going to explain that. But down here, one of the last puzzles you have to achieve is down here. You got to call for the rescue for the helicopter to get to the helipad. And to do that, once you get to this one, there's a key in this little spot right here, and it's locked up. Right? You can't get to it. And in order to get the key, you have to figure out what's going on here. So this is basically supposed to look like a ham radio. You can my hand's in the way. There we go. So you can turn the dial and all that stuff.
Okay.
There's a little speaker down here. Anyways, so eventually, or they'll probably right away figure this out. When you push the button, so there's like radio chatter, and then
Morse code,
and then you're going to hear some Morse code, and it's 3 numbers, and so you have to decode the 3 numbers from the Morse code. The second number. It's the third number. Yeah, so you have to figure that out
really cool.
to get to the last one. So I slowed the Morse code way down and put in the background chatter in there. It's just kind of like a marine chatter on the radio. And I think it's in Spanish or Portuguese or something. Anyways, so that's the solution. So that was all it is just a push button, kind of like what Andrew has. Only it just records your voice for I think 10 seconds. And all I did is I just held it up to the speaker and recorded it with the 2 sounds simultaneously, and it was that simple. And so when I push that button, that's when it starts to play. So
it sounds
very
good
simple.
too.
Yeah, that sounds really
glad
cool.
it came through. Okay,
yeah.
So
and of course,
that's how
it has that old timey sound, not
that's
being
what
so
this
clear.
old-fashioned radio dial, radio chatter. That's really cool. It really does.
Yeah, so this is like a vintage radio dial.
I was going to ask you where you found that.
Yeah.
It is an old vintage dial itself.
Actually, it's a gear. Yeah, it's just a gear that I resin cast, and I glued it to the top of that. And this is a smaller gear behind here. It allows you to move this. Yeah. So it's all handmade. That little power gauge is just a picture kind of thing. And once you get that code, you can unlock the lock and get the key. So that's what's going on there.
what activates the code is you just turn the dial and it activates, right? At some point,
Or you
there's
hit-
no certain number, right?
No, you hit the red button.
Yeah, so I
right?
got a
Red
I got a
button.
bunch of-
That's right.
yeah, the red button. So I wanted a couple of red herring distractions kind of thing to see what would happen, and so I that's what I wanted to do. I might put a couple of switchy switches in there and that kind of thing. So I just want to give somebody. So one of the goals I have is making a gadget cache is I don't want to make it too hard. I want to make it easy enough so that most people can open it in 2 to 3 minutes. Because I want them to have fun and enjoy it instead of just struggling and then finally figure it out kind of thing. I want people to just kind of get through them fast enough so they can have a good time.
So that's really good. I agree with that philosophy. Ozfox says a huge amount of time must go into these hides. Great work. How long did it take you to make that one?
Believe it or not that long. Most of the stuff I do is resin cast. So once I make one, I can make a lot of them very quickly. It's kind of like 3D printing, only you have an original, you make a silicone mold, and you can just keep casting them and casting them and casting them. And so I'm actually got several of these already done. It took 3 days, I think, to create two sets of birdhouses and this one. And this is the one I would take to events. And then then I've got the birdhouses that are going to go out into the wild. And so they're going to be a tenth of a mile apart. And then you can walk to every one of them and solve them and get credit. But when this goes to an event, they have the ability to log 4 caches in one shot.
Oh, wow.
So I think they'll have a good time.
So
Yeah.
DJW House says always press the red button, but don't cut the red
Always
wire.
press the-
It's the black wire with the yellow stripe, not the blue wire with the white stripe.
Right. Don't do that.
Right.
And then, of course, the geocaching vlogger says, wow, I found a cache like that in some guy's trunk in a mall parking lot. So we got Joshua's in the house, and I don't know if you were listening earlier, Josh, when we talked about
Joshua.
bringing so much energy. And it's just real easy to be. Your energy is just so infectious when people are in your videos. It overflows, even if you're pushing them down a hill or locking them up in this escape room or whatever. So we're noting that with Doug.
I thought you pushed you down the hill.
Yeah, I know. It was me. I'm trying to be nice. Still. And, but yeah, that's just really cool. And then, of course, Andrew Bell on the Move said fun is the goal. And that's really, really very, really important. And then Hugh said, very cool gadget cache. And I completely agree. And then Tricashus is saying, I studying that video. So, Chad, you're not the only one. I know. I was looking at it. I was like, oh my gosh, look at that. Look at the work.
Incredible stuff.
I just love your resin molding and all that stuff, Doug. It's just so cool.
I got this little part of it like this. This is all resin cast. It only, I cast it very quickly. Pretty easy.
You didn't see anything there.
So
well, you got
I'm in
one.
Chad, I'm in Chad's. I'm in Chad's workshops. He's got everything in here. So this one was 3D printed, not resin casted.
No, but
this
the
one's a
resin
little
cast will look
smaller.
better.
Yeah, this one's a little smaller. It's only like a few tubes. But on this one, I didn't get to show this on the geocaching vlogger, but there's DNA slides.
Actually, I love your puzzle for this because I was trying to think how to make that a puzzle. Because on this one, let me pull it out here again.
Right.
So there's little lines on these DNA slides, and there's a letter, and each letter represents a certain type of, and so you got to match which one of these, and so you will get the code to the lock. So here's the numbers; you can see them. And so once you match one, match one of the other
Doug, I'm sorry, I was looking away.
Show the bottom of the DNA tubes.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. So there's numbers on each one of these. I got them painted on them, and you take slides. So there's several slides, and each number or each letter represents an Allosaurus. Is an A. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, I saw the A. Yep.
That's an Allosaurus. You got to match that to one of these. The little stripes on there, you can see that. And once you match those two, you know that the combination is Allosaurus, pterodactyl, and Triceratops, kind of thing. And it would be 632, kind of thing. And so that's how you get your key, the first lock. Yeah.
That is really cool.
That's cool. So on mine, I was trying to figure out a puzzle because I copied exactly what's in the movie, and they actually have the DNA codes that's in the movie on them.
Oh,
So I was trying to figure out a way to do it, and then this is all blacklight activated liquid in here. So I was trying to figure out a way to make that work too. But yeah, trying to figure out how to make the exact DNA work with a puzzle is something I was trying. And
yeah, that's just really cool.
I need to get together with the puzzle person.
Yeah. Do we know any of those?
I don't know. We'll have to try and see if we can find somebody.
All right. So that's really cool. Well done. I mean,
Yes.
that's just phenomenal.
Is that going to Texas with you? Because I need to come find it.
It is actually. I'm gonna hide the birdhouses here in California,
Okay.
and I found a great spot for it. They don't get bothered, and they're easy to get to. So I think people are going to enjoy it.
That's awesome.
And I'm going to do one in Texas. That's why I made 3.
I love how you make multiple copies of your caches. Most of us, we make it one time and then we're done and we move on. Where you make multiples and it's just
make the one and you spend the time out. You put it out and something happens like, oh, I don't want to remake that.
And now you
he just does it all at one time and gets it over with.
Yeah, I mean, every once in a while, very rarely I get them muggled. I think of maybe 3 I've ever had muggled in 6 years I've been making gadget caches. And so it doesn't hurt as much. Yeah, it doesn't hurt as much when one goes missing because you know you have backups. But number 2 is, there you have 2, is that you always have a replacement. If something needs maintenance, I've got one now that I pulled and then replaced it with another one today, just because it's getting a little rusty and the weather beaten. And so it just makes it easier so I can work on this one whenever I need to. And also I can bring them to events, which people really have a good time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my number one thing. I love taking caches and puzzle boxes to events and watching people. I mean, I think that's why we all make it, right? Is to hear about people's experiences. And then when we actually can see them, you know, trying to figure it out and enjoying the cache, that's just priceless for me. I mean, that's why I make them.
That's why we do it.
It adds a lot to the events. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Thank you for having me on your show. Loved it.
Oh, hey, thank you for sharing. Thank you. That's really great. 2 different great ideas. Love the red herring in the first one. Love the one that we got to see kind of a preview with Joshua this last weekend, and then getting to actually see it on this. That's really cool. Super cool.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
So Doug, stick around. We'll bring you right back on here in a little bit.
Perfect. So our next guest here. Oh well, let's talk about Derek's wonderful trip yesterday.
My wonderful trip. Okay, so I gave you a little bit of a preview yesterday, or earlier, not yesterday. Okay, so we're flying out here, and we're supposed to have a 51-minute layover. Well, that 51-minute layover ended up turning into, we were supposed to be here at 11:30 yesterday morning here in Seattle. We did not arrive until 5 o'clock p.m. here in Seattle. And what happened is that when we were taking off from Charlotte, I kind of felt that there was something a little bit weird as we're doing when they're powering up to take us off, get taken off the ground. As we were just lifting off, I heard a loud pop and the entire plane swung to the right. And then it came back and we never got the extreme angle to climb. We got 1 to probably between 2 and 4 degrees, somewhere in that, just to climb. And the right engine was really roaring, and it was just really struggling trying to get up and everything. And we got about 2,000 feet, maybe no higher than that, and we just started circling Charlotte. What had happened is that we had an engine failure on takeoff, and those planes are actually able to fly with 1 engine, so that part wasn't an issue. But of course, flying with the kids and my wife and the service dog and everything, it was a little nerve-wracking, especially when they start going, okay, so this is what we're going to do. This is how you're going to brace. And when we say brace, you're going to brace, make sure all your glasses or anything that's sharp in your pockets are out. If we do come in and leave everything, do not get out, and you'll go down the slides and everything. But so the crew did a phenomenal job. Not knocking the crew or anything like that. They're really well trained and really did everything to the book. I mean, it was really great, and that was probably one of the smoothest landings I've ever actually been on with 1 engine. Well, of course,
I was going to say the crew did their job. You're here,
crew
right?
did their job.
So
I'm here.
They
made it. They landed. It was a really smooth landing. I didn't have to leave my cameras or anything like that, so I was happy about that, of course. But more than that, I was happy that we all came out of that safe and everything. But that was just a little bit of an interesting thing that happened on my way to Seattle. So,
But more importantly, did you get to use that slide?
no, I was so disappointed.
They see it on the movie and they jump and land on that slide.
I know. I was having flashbacks from the movie Airplane. I mean, they made it. They were able to get out through the slide, but no, we didn't. But it was interesting aspect of it. Something the kids will be able to remember for the rest of their life. And of course, flying is still. I still say flying is still one of the safest ways to go. That's just a rare occurrence. I mean, I've flown all over the world. And this is only my second time having to make an emergency landing. And I don't mean that first time was in a C-130 in Air Force plane, and I was 6 years old. So that was a really cool experience. I got to land on Midway Island and got to see off in the distance Jacques Cousteau's laboratory. Got to go on one of his boats because he was there on Midway Island at the time. So, but that was just. But that's very rare.
Fly on
But
C-130
not many people that when it was Space A when my dad was in the military. But that was. So that's my story of my trip getting here this time, and then it's 113 degrees here. It's brutal.
You went from arriving at 11:30 to 5 o'clock.
Yeah, at least it was starting to cool down. It was only 100 at the time. So, but with that, we have another guest with us tonight, and we will definitely. You guys have seen him before, and I know Chad and I pick his brain so many times when we have questions on different types of caches and everything, and we are pleased to welcome none other than DJW House, Dave Wagner.
Hello, Dave.
Hey. I have to do my sound here because we're doing
Hey, that's perfect.
Nice. I need to get a soundboard.
Yeah, we need to add one of those.
Oh,
over here.
please.
We add to our budget.
Hey guys, good to see you.
Thanks, Dave, for joining us tonight.
Glad you made it in. Hey, I want to talk tonight about a cache that is archived. Has no Arduino in it and uses lots of sound. I love sound in all my caches, but this one is a great one if folks want to duplicate it or do a spin of it. It's sound, but no programming. That's the best kind of electronics cache to do. So that's what I'm throwing at you tonight.
Right, and that was one of the things that both Doug's and Andrew's both caches were not Arduino based. So that's just something that's really cool. You don't have to do a sound cache. You don't have to have an Arduino based cache. You can, like the Superhero in Jeopardy, which is a sound module cache that's Arduino based, but you don't have to go that sophisticated. And that's what I really think is really cool. So, all right, Dave, I got your pictures ready. Which one do you want to start off with? You want to talk about the history?
I mean, it's 0 through whatever. We'll just touch that first. I don't physically have anything to show because the cache is dead at this point. But one of the Wired Series caches, I cut this out of the cache just to show it had 90 favorites, which is really awesome, but 79% favorites on from Premium Log. So
that's really
good. That's really good.
Yeah, and you know, part of it maybe the Wired carries a little bit of credence with the locals and things like that. But I do think that sound caches or caches with a little twist, when people see the extra effort you put in, that's all good stuff for favorite points as well. So I think people really get a lot of enjoyment out of it, kind of thing.
I agree. So here is.
This is the cache itself.
This is the cache itself.
Yeah, this is Wired number 8 sounding board, and I'll go through the bits in a second here, but give you an idea. The door that you see flipped open there, it's on some self-closing, not self-closing, but very tight spring latches on it. And so when this door is closed, there's screws all the way around it. It looks like it's screwed shut.
I love those latches. I've used those hinges before, and those are, if they are not connected to the board itself, they are tough to get open or closed.
And if you don't leave a lot of finger holds and stuff like that, more than a few people have basically pinged me and basically said, how do I get started? And I start to explain about pushing buttons and stuff, and they're going like, what are you talking about? We can't get in.
What buttons?
So it's very simple, but it's good for muggles too. I mean, there's no lock on the outside. Basically, it just looks like it's sealed. kind of thing. So you do see a padlock there when you get the 4-digit combination, and I don't use that lock. It's a horrible lock, but basically a bison tube drops down.
Okay.
The little red box, we'll talk about that. That's the sound making piece of this that kind of gives it. Yep, there you go. And the one I have here is got little symbols by each of the buttons here, and I didn't use the same exact symbols in the puzzle because some of them don't make as much sense as maybe another style. But basically, you can see, what you're looking at there is just turned, and the paint is sanded off, so you can't tell which button makes which sound. Now, if you go back one there, on the door, there's a little, or actually, you could have gone forward one, sorry. There's a little door guide. So when you open the cache, and it basically assigns a number value to a button. And then if you go to the next one here, I think, yeah, on the side, and I love doing new things. This is wood burning. You don't have to do wood burning to make the cache work. But what I did is I took some of the obvious symbols, like I don't know if I'd call it obvious or not on some of these, but let's just say this sound. And
that's a spring.
Yeah, and you can see in there's something that crudely looks like a spring.
Of course, you can't see my mouse as I'm sitting there waving it over the picture. Sorry,
I
guys.
can see it. It's okay.
Chad can see it.
Yeah. Oh, drums. So some of them are kind of obvious. So it's not a really necessarily difficult in some ways, though you got to figure out the connectivity of all this.
Right.
So I did wood burning. You can do this a lot of different ways. And I did change some of the symbols that are on here because some of them are like little smiley faces.
Right.
And
like a thumbs down,
the happy, one's a sad. And, they really don't lend themselves to what does that mean? It would make it, just trial and error to solve it. So on the ones that were happy and sad, I may have put a little more smiley face or something.
Right.
And on the sad.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
And this one. So you probably can't tell me which of those is a thumbs down and which of those is a sad face. And that's probably the two numbers that people swap the most, but it's down to 2. Anyway, so what you see there is a math problem. It's, screamer plus light bulb plus applause plus broken glass is a number, and you add it and you subtract it and then you add it, and that equals the combination to the lock. So it's fun. You get to listen to some interesting depends on your juvenility there, but interesting sound. And keep track of what the values are, where they go, and of course figure out the little puzzle on the side is a plus and minus math problem, that kind of a thing. So it's a pretty direct cache, but it's just fun to play it. It's fun to push the buttons, fun to make the noises,
Right.
most of which are pretty easy to connect.
Right. And did you want to show the solution because we have that picture as well?
I really go ahead, Dave.
All right.
Yeah, I didn't hear what. Yeah, there you go. So steal this as it is, but I just made sure that the math worked out, and then I assigned the numbers to make sure the symbols lined up and a few other things. But basically, the math problem is a scream, ding, clap, and glass is a 6, a 4, a 3, and a 2 when you look it up, plus the 5907 minus 8112. Plus the whatever adds up to the 7334, which was the combination to the lock. I put a minus in there because the number would get too big, and also because people need to pay attention to what's wood burned on the side of the item. Some people would take this and do it not like numbers, but columns, and independently look at each column. Yeah. And again, there were some sounds that you could mix up in different ways. So I'll get into a little more on how to build this one, but to me, this was, I think, a nice way to do a non-Arduino and maximize the puzzle and never make it too hard for people. Yeah,
I really like that too. And like I said, the non-Arduino one, I mean, I do a lot of non-Arduino ones as well. So I love this. I love being able to use that aspect of it. And Chad has one of these as well that we're just kind of looking at as well. So, and the symbols on there, like you were saying, don't necessarily. We're sitting there looking at the thumbs down.
Up or thumbs down. I thought was a comb.
It looks like a comb on here. So let's see if we can show that one, Chad. See if we can get a good shot of that. So there's that looked like a comb to us.
To me, yeah.
Yeah, the upper right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
So
can't point.
yeah, this one does.
Other
There's
right.
that one.
My
Yeah,
other
so-
right. That one.
So yeah, that looked like a comb to us. So yeah, but what you did with the wood burning,
I love the wood burning.
I love the wood burning, and that makes a lot more sense to me.
Yeah, and it's never. The nice thing about the wood burning is it can get wet, or withstand the heat, and it's always going to be there. And
Yeah.
it actually looks really cool.
It looks really good.
Thanks. And if you look at the original cache in the beginning, I think you could see the front of the cache maybe.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, so I even extended it to wood burning in the geocaching symbol and the
Yeah, and that looks good.
So the wood burning is on the outside of the cache in the back, right? Or the side.
or on the side.
the opposite side you're looking at is where the symbol is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Opposite of the door.
Okay.
That's cool. Did you wood burn that number in and the geocaching logo as well?
Correct.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
it kind of made it the theme, and again, it made it fun. Now, from a maintenance perspective, we always talk about maintenance. I think in about 2 years, I got a log that suggested maybe that it was a little challenging on one of the symbols, and I actually pulled it down. I wish I'd made two, like Rumba Cats, but I actually pulled it down and re-ran over it with the wood burning tool and darkened up the symbols a little bit to redo those. And so it seemed to go for about 2 years. The wood burning also makes impressions. It indents the wood. So the symbols were there, but it was just a little more difficult to read. So I darkened it back up, kind of a thing. So other than that, I mean, it was zero maintenance and probably could have gone many more years than it did. But we'll talk about the tragic end at the end.
Yeah, but that just looks really great. And I know you have. So you mentioned about getting into more of the build part of it. So walk us through the process of kind of building it, and maybe I guess you took one of the modules apart or something like that as well, so we can go into all that aspect of it.
Yep. Yeah. Flip up a picture or two in that.
All right. So there's the module.
Yeah, to show you what's inside. So this is actually wired differently than the one I used when I did the cache in 2015. It's the same exterior, but it's slightly different. But you can see it's just a bunch of rubber buttons that go through the holes on it. So you can take that off and then sand down the painted side a little bit to get rid of the symbols. And then back to the wider view on the two, the circuit board there, the buttons just push in those little pads and knock it down. Now, on the one that I made in 2015, the batteries were built into the board.
Okay.
So when you took it apart, they were screwed onto the board, and I actually ruined one of the modules trying to add wires to add more battery to the unit. I didn't know how long it would last. I mean, there's just those little flat hearing aid style batteries in there. And so I ruined one because the copper was so thin I couldn't solder to it without the pads lifting and things like that. But the one that you're showing right now is got the battery on, mechanically mounted on the backside there. And so there's just two wires. So you could take those wires off, run it on 3 AA batteries. And of course, my Energizer Ultimate Lithium is my favorite. So I just drilled a hole in the back to mount this thing. And I drilled a hole in the back to run wires through, and I put a battery pack inside the cache. So this went for 100 visits or so, lots of sound making. The batteries never were discharged at all, kind of a thing. Maybe they would have done fine with the little ones, but 4 or 5 years, I kind of like the idea of adding a battery, which might be one of the future images here too.
Yeah, that's really, really, really cool. I know the next image is the.
That was my notes to you guys to say.
So there's a note. So we do plan these, and Dave is really great on that. I just wanted to point out that Dave helps us when we're doing these like this. So all right, let's look at this one instead then.
So once you take the back off and drill a hole, you can just mount it to a little board, which you see I did, and then you can see the 3 battery. AA battery holder I stuck behind there. The little cavity you can't see towards the back there is where the bison tube sat and fell out when you when
Okay.
you unlatch it. So, I mean, I did the calculation, and this was early in my internally powered caches cycle. And when I got up to something in the 10,000 year range or something like that, it was like, okay, this is ridiculous. Why am I adding more than these
Right.
3 batteries? Because it really draws, no power ever. And you touch a button, it draws it, and then it's done, and it doesn't even do much of that. So, but anyways, personally, I would still add the 3 batteries, put it on there, and the thing will run forever. You'll never have to worry about maintenance other than your wood burning might lighten up if that's the approach you take to it.
Right. And as like I said before, and Chad agrees with this as well, is that the less maintenance we have to do on our caches, the better, and the more fun people can have. So that's really cool. And then we were talking about the bison tube, and here's the picture of kind of the bottom where how the latch does that. And I've used kind of something similar to this before on one of mine, and I think this is really cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I really got into trouble with making a little box with a door, with hinges, with a latch, and on this it was like, okay, I'm going log only, and so it just is that latch, and when you close it, the bison can't fall out. When you unlock it, it drops out because that's the only thing in there is that up in a tube, essentially a hole. That made it so much easier to do the log only. I like swag and all that stuff, but that was easier. So again, love those latches. This is the way it lays out. Maybe and you can see I haven't filled in the wood burning on the top with the symbol of just kind of outline here. But the nice thing of these latches, and you got to put them in the right way. But basically, I've just abutted those 2 boards and put down the latch, and they're right at the edge. The interior part's right at the edge, and you screw it into that location. And when it flips, it's exactly sealed. It's not something you got to measure and mess with. My only fault here is I had to get something that screwed at right angles because I didn't leave enough room for me to get get my hand almost into the corner to screw some of those down. If you glue that top on, then you're in trouble. So I shouldn't have glued it that early, kind of a thing. But that's basically the frame I use for it.
And that's a really great frame. I love that. Those latches, buttoning them up. First time I got one, I'm sitting going, what's wrong with this thing? I can't get it to close. How's this going to work? And I finally took it and put it between 2 boards, and it snapped, and it scared me. I'm glad my fingers weren't there. But I love the flushness when you use those hidden hinges like that. Those are just really great.
Yeah. And they'll do interior or exterior, so you can have it surface mount against it, or it'll go into the cavity, so it's kind of hidden inside type of a thing. So they'll work both ways for that too, which is nice. Depends how big you want to make the cache. Whether you want to make the door side bigger or shorter, right?
Right. So, and then John is saying this is beyond my abilities. I had to have help build my lockbox. I'll send schematics if you guys are interested. Hey, we'd love to see schematics. We reach out for help all the time.
Absolutely.
I mean, I reached out, what was it, 2 days ago, Dave? We're starting to kind of pick around on something too, on another one. So that's coming in the future on Behind the Cache. But that's just something different. I mean, generally, if we have a question on Arduino base, Chad and I's first message is to Dave. So yeah.
I'm sure he sees our message. Oh no, what do they need now? What impossible task do they want done?
So, and just so people don't think I'm either too nice or too mean, but I mean, this for me is the adventure of encoding and playing with the electronics and trying something to see how to do it and all that stuff. So I really enjoy doing this. The flip of that is there's limited bandwidth, and my wife likes to see me and things like that. So I can't do everything for everybody all the time. Right. But this is almost like being able to invent caches without ever having to worry about putting them out or maintaining them. So maybe that's not a bad role to have, right?
No, not at all. I mean, my caches, and people go, well, why don't you have a lot? Well, I end up giving them to people, or people get them and they take them and they put them in their own area. So that it's just, we spread the love. I mean, hey, to me, they take my cache, they go hide it. Guess what? I get to go find it, and I get credit for it now.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I don't mind helping people, but if someone helps me with a cache, I'll give them credit on the cache.
Oh
I
yeah.
have no problem with that. I mean, that it's, obviously it wasn't 100% my idea, so I shouldn't get just the credit for it. So
that's just something really great. And if you do have ideas or schematics or anything like that, and you want us to kind of look at them here at Gadget Talk, you can go ahead and send us an email. And Chad and I both will get it now. We've linked and done some forwards and stuff like that. So we both get the emails now, and it's at gadgettalkpodcast@gmail.com. So you can just send us an email there. You can also, of course, visit us and check us out on Instagram or Facebook, Twitter. And you can go to the Gadget Talk podcast there, and you can find us there. So either message us through Instagram or Twitter, or you can also just send us an email to gadgettalkpodcast.com at gmail.com.
Yeah.
Not .com, but yeah, just do that. And so we'll get that as well. I do not have a build list tonight, but I'll get one together, and I will probably put links in that into the show description here, and I will put a build list together up on the website. I got to get to my laptop. I will be to it sometime tomorrow. As we're up here in Seattle, we're going to do the 8 cache tomorrow, so it's going to be sometime after that I'll be able to build the stuff for it. So, but all right, that was just really, really cool, Dave. I love that. And one thing I really like about tonight, even that Dave is so famous for doing Arduino sound caches. The one that he shows us has no Arduino.
No, but that's good. That shows that you don't have to use Arduino.
I know. That's
and even people as smart as Dave doesn't always go with the highest tech stuff. And honestly, it's simple. And part of the podcast is to make it so everybody can put out a cache like this.
Yeah.
And with what you showed us tonight, everybody showed us. I mean, you can put out a great cache that gets lots of favorites. I mean, look at the percentage of favorites that cache has.
Yeah,
Dave.
Let's look at that again. Let's look at
79%, right?
Yeah, let me pull up that page.
90 favorites.
90 favorites, 79% favorite points.
Yeah,
I mean,
you can't beat. I wish I had 79% on most of my caches.
Yeah, that's a phenomenal percentage of that. I hate that it had to be archived. And you said you were going to tell us a story of.
Is there one more picture maybe?
Oh, there's this picture. Is that the?
So this is the picture. So you can see the screws on the side. That's the door. And so and in fact, I deliberately used black or large, shiny screws, something that really is clear that that door is screwed. And of course, it's a door. It's not. But you're looking at my maintenance run, and that's the tree that was attached to lying on the ground.
Oh, that's lying on the ground. Oh, yeah. We'll see it's lying on the ground. Yeah, I was thinking it's just.
Yeah, I didn't even catch it lying on the ground.
I didn't either until you said that. I was like, it's just a forest. I didn't catch that it was.
So someone cut that tree down?
No, so maybe it's a little controversial that a lot of mine get attached to trees, but let me just say,
his nails killed the tree.
No. I do put my caches on dead stumps every chance I get, and this was a dead tree, but I also don't put them on dead trees with high branches because people are going to get hurt. Branches fall down and so on. So every so often, if you look hard enough, you'll find that tree, not a lot of branches or no branches, and it's solid on the ground. You attach. Well, after 5 years, a windstorm or something, that one blew over and took that one down. I wasn't really in a position to resurrect it or move it at that point, kind of a thing. So that's kind of where that one is like, okay, when it falls to the ground, lying on its wood burn symbols and ashes and stuff like that, maybe it's time to archive that one. So that's how that one met its end.
Well, it didn't make it to a bomb squad, so that's good.
Yeah. This was an area. I mean, the other end of it is if you go to places that high-end gadget caches won't get muggled, it's usually heavy undergrowth. It's usually around here anyway, swampy or wet ground.
Right.
Things like that. So, I mean, this is sort of the areas in the forest preserves. They're forest preserves because they weren't good for building homes.
Yeah.
And maybe they had the foresight to reserve them. But anyway, so that happens a lot. And this isn't the first. I think I've had 3 at least that have kind of gone through these cycles. But sometimes you catch them before the tree goes over and relocate them and things like that. But anyway, so that was the end, which means this one is absolutely available to copy. duplicate, to and again, and you've got all the pictures and stuff like that as well to share. This is an Amazon item. It's not horribly expensive.
No, and we'll have that on the description page and everything like that. So on the cache page, or not cache page, but on there as well. And Chad, no, I was not necessarily referring to you. I know of a birdhouse that was blown up too.
Yeah.
It wasn't just
But
yours.
it was asked to be blown up. It was on fire.
And it was called.
Blaze of Glory?
No, it wasn't Blaze of Glory.
Something like that.
It was Johnny Cash song. Yeah.
It's
Burn,
something-
burn, burn. It was called Burn, Burn, Burn.
okay.
Had flames on the side of it. I mean, it had a geocache symbol. The bomb squad got called out. They just had to blow something up. And if it had to go in Blazes of Glory, it did. It did exactly what that cache was called. So it went up. Rings of Fire.
Rings of Fire.
Ring
There
of
you
Fire.
go, yeah.
That's what it was called. Rings of Fire. So
Oh.
if it had to go away, that's what it was.
If one of my caches has to go away and get muggled, then blowing it up isn't the end of the world, I guess.
No, I just want to be able to watch
I
it
just
when they blow
wanna
it
watch
up.
it, yeah.
It's a great story. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Dave, if it's okay if we do this part right
Yes.
now, I'm seeing some ammo cans behind you there. I see one that looks really familiar. There's a Simon one,
Yep, this time.
but there's two others. What are those other two?
Well, there are. I've been somewhat busy, which is why I'm not making caches necessarily for the world, but I'm making them for you guys.
That's making it for the world, right?
That's true. That's true. Yeah, let me give you a little. I won't pull the Simon one over. Everybody's seen the build for the Simon and how that's all worked out. And especially with the popularity of that particular build, I think it came out to be more readily built. I think it kitted up really nice, and it was something a lot of people can build. I mean, and that's the trouble with anything electronic, Arduino built, whatever, coded. They're just complicated in some way, manner, or form. The Simon one worked out in the way it was approached that we could do it in a much simpler way. So, why waste a good idea? So the gist of this one, and you notice it's got 7 LEDs instead of 4.
Right, and one button.
Just one button. And I'll tease to the other one here. As long as you're already doing one with 7 LEDs, maybe there's one with 3 buttons. So these are basically 2 different puzzles, games, whatever you want to call them, than the Simon. So these are they're not something that's never been done, but it's sort of my personal invention. But so this one is called Chase.
Okay.
And it's very simple, just one button, but basically you've got to hit that button right in the center there. I'm going to miss it every time. I'm looking in the delay of the TV and it's terrible. There we go.
There's one.
All right, that's one. You got to do that 4 times. Every time you do it, it's going to.
Oh, I like how it changes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
I'm doing this on a time. So that's 2. So you're going to keep doing this, and now it's not quite just running across. It's sort of randomly selecting times to do it. So you have to do 4 different levels. Each level is different in how the speed, the way the LEDs run, and you're limited into how many times you can try it. And then it's going to restart you back at you're going to have to go back to level 1. So yeah, this is Chase. It's sort of, there are versions of this reaction time game and things like that. So it's along that line. There's 2 difficulty levels. I couldn't test it any harder than that. So when I went to a 2nd level, I just gave up on a 3rd because it was already too hard for me. And it's the same, that looks very familiar. It's just the same style, and it's the same level, maybe a little simpler, but it's the same level of complexity that the Simon game is. So if you can build a Simon, you can build this one. And again, it's two difficulty levels, reaction time. You got to do something. You got to catch it 4 times, and it operates 4 different ways, and then you get the combination. So
that's really cool.
Yeah.
So very, very similar to what we had, and we've got build instructions ready. I think Chad Derek and Chad are going to maybe check them out, test them out, and do some additional goodies on them there. And then they may go in the store eventually, I'm assuming, right?
Yep,
They will be going to the store hopefully soon.
Hopefully soon.
All right,
Yeah.
we want to get them out to listeners, you know, and out to everybody out there to be able to build these.
All right, so there. Oh, this one's different colors this time. Oh,
So this one is in fact a reuse of a cache I did called Scales, and I think Joshua even featured this one on one of his videos. And basically is I don't remember how many, 8 or 9, but you had to raise an LED up a scale. Oh, I got the first one right. So there's 3 buttons, and you don't know. Oh, I got it wrong. So I know this is the first button, and after that, maybe it's the second button. Oh, it is. Third button, no. So 1, 2, 1. So you have to find the combination here of button presses to get up. And there's only 7 LEDs, so there's 7 button presses.
7 button presses to get everything to light up.
Yep, and when you get the LEDs to go all the way from top to bottom, then you get the combination. This has 3 challenge levels. Now, and I don't know if you can hear.
Yeah, I can hear that.
Yep.
Okay, so it's timed. You only get so long to do it, so it isn't like you can just figure it out and it's a dumb thing. You gotta pace it. So there's an easy level where the time is long. There's a regular level which most people will probably be able to get through reasonably well, and there's a very difficult level. And instead of 7 LEDs, we pair them up here, so there's 13 steps. So now you're into where you got to make 13 button presses, and you have to discover them, right? They're always different. They're always random. And when you discover what those button presses are, then you get the combination to the end. So those are the 2 that go with Simon, and they build the same. They are at the same level of difficulty, minor bit of soldering. And again, I can just show you, it's just the same kind of general stuff when you put it together. Right. So if you've done Simon, you can probably do these pretty easily. Right,
and that is just, those are some really great, and those are going to be some really great additions to go into the store. I can't wait to get those in the store. We're hoping to have those up hopefully within the next month.
Yeah, that's our goal.
Yeah, within the next month. And so thanks, Dave, for putting those together. And once again, it still stays to our theme because there's a sound module in it. And then hey, you know what? There's our Arduino-based sound module caches that we wanted to demonstrate. So,
they have the classic DJW house sound when you start them. That is the classic. Yeah, every time I hear that, I'm like, oh, Dave Wagner was here.
That's it right there.
That's it, exactly. That's it. So, yeah, we really appreciate putting these together, and allowing us to put them on our store and, get them out to all these cachers out there to enjoy.
Yep. So, Chad Tricash says, Dave, you are so creative with the electronics. Someday I hope to be as smart as you are. and earlier on, I saw, Hugh, you asked about what's this book we keep talking about? It's Tricachius, Chad's. His brainstorm book.
Yes.
Different caches that he comes up with after when he wakes up in the middle of the night. There's a book that sits by his bed that he puts things in, and we all are trying to somehow get up there to kind of swipe it.
Yeah,
so that's the book we keep referring to.
We did a Q&A at an event with him, and he wakes up in his sleep and is like, oh, I gotta write this down.
Yeah, and we're like, okay, did you
Cold
bring that
sweat.
with you?
Oh, I gotta write this down. I was just thinking about something. So he has a secret book, or actually it's a baggie, right? With
it's got all these
stuff in it.
Somewhere, somebody, we gotta get that book. So, but thanks, Dave, for showing us all that. And should we bring everybody else back in?
Yeah, let's bring everybody else back in.
All right, so we're gonna bring everybody else back in. And so here comes Andrew, and there's the clap.
Love that clap.
Clap.
Okay, we got to get that out of there.
That's out of this, right?
Yeah, it's the first one.
It's the first one. So, all right. So, as I drop it, and I'm attached here. All right. So there's Andrew. Andrew's in, and of course now let's bring in Rumba Cats.
We gotta get a soundboard.
Yeah,
that's so good. Such a good idea, Dave.
All right, so
you got soundboards right there.
Another good idea.
We got one now. We got one. Yeah, but we gotta hook it up to the sound somehow.
Technically, it's a sound machine.
It's a sound machine, not a soundboard. All right. So, but yeah, thanks guys for joining us tonight. This was really, really awesome. Not just getting to be here with Chad, actually in the gadget room that everybody drools over every week when we do this episode of the Gadget Talk. But y'all's caches, phenomenal job. So many great comments in the chat room. People are just really excited about seeing how we can do these different things. So that's just really good. Every one of them a little bit different. All of them different sound modules.
I like that. I mean, that was the whole point, is to see the different ways and how people are creative with their sound.
Right.
On that. And, I don't know if we mentioned, but Andrew's only been caching for short term, right? Did we mention that on the show?
Andrew, say it one more time. How long have you been caching?
I started in September of last year.
Wow.
September of last year.
So are you a COVID cacher?
COVID cache.
Is that what it
I'm a
is?
COVID cacher.
You should actually have on a membership when you join during COVID.
Yeah, so you're a COVID cacher. You have to put that on your profile, COVID cacher. All right, and you've put out already, how many caches did you say?
I have 30 out so far.
30 out. Okay. And how many favorite points are you up to now?
I'm at 206.
206 favorite points. And there's...
Yeah, we don't. What's the sound for that one?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
We'll have to figure it out.
Nope.
That's not that one.
You gotta build a cache. You gotta build a cache to learn it. Yeah.
So, nice job, Andrew. And we really appreciate you joining the game and what you're bringing to the game with this. I can see in a year, I could just imagine what you're going to be making.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's going to get expensive for us Gadget Cache builders. You're getting, and not just in material, you're going to have to figure out some more tools. It's like, hey, that's going to work really great. I mean, you see the 3D printer behind Dave. I would love to see.
Actually, I want to see Rumba Cats
I want to see
workshop.
Doug's workshop.
And Shelf of Shame.
Shelf of Shame, which I got that too.
Yeah, mine's up here.
It's not too shameful though. I'm sorry. But I mean, Chad's got here. You got the CNC machine, the two over here, the two 3D printers, and now the Glow Forge. I mean,
let me tell you, Andrew, I started 3 years ago with just a jigsaw and a drill. So no, not really, but
yeah,
that's where it can go.
Hey, and that's but what you're already doing is phenomenal. Rumba Cats, the finished work, your resin casting, all that is just,
the knobs, the sound. I mean, the old school dial.
That was just so cool. Love that.
Oh, Doug, can you shut that case and show us the front?
Let's
Because
see the front of the case.
the work of that is just as impressive as the inside of it.
Yeah, I went. This is going to be like Jurassic Park or Jumanji Park.
Yeah,
going to be located
look at that.
in a very similar location. So I wanted to have Jumanji and Jumanji Park right next to each other. As you can,
Sorry,
so this right here is a little piece of amber on the post that Hamlet. Let's see, what's his name? The Jurassic Park owner. So there's a little.
Yeah, it had on his cane.
There,
Yeah,
it had the mosquito in it.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that's it.
That is cool. Did you resin a mosquito in there?
No, it's just a little glass bead I found at a thrift store, and it just kind of fit perfect.
Nice.
That's really cool. Awesome job on that. And of course, Dave.
It's Dave. What can we say?
It's Dave.
Yeah.
TJW House.
Yeah.
You guys are keeping me fully employed in my retired years.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate it.
So yeah, that's from Bot Matrix. Wow, that's impressive, Doug. Mind blowing.
Oh, thank you.
Work.
Oh yeah, this
Wolf.
is the backside right there. Here you go.
Oh, that is really cool.
So is that paper on there?
So Isla Nublar, which is I think the Jurassic Park island. Yeah.
And how was that hodgepodge on there, or how did you do the paper, or is that painted, or did your wife do that?
It's just glued on there, and then I covered it with polyurethane.
Okay, see some more tricks of what you can do on this, and then also Wort Wolf to Andrew. Congrats, Andrew! Awesome contribute.
Oh yeah, he's got some
Good
great
job.
caches.
Sorry.
My goodness.
Now I can't say it.
The heat has fried our brains. Okay, ignore those guys that want to buy more tools. No, you always need more.
Who doesn't want to buy more tools?
For a new cacher, Andrew has got some amazing caches.
I've heard about an Indiana Jones series or something.
That sounds like a lot of fun. I mean, how can you go wrong with an Indiana Jones series? I mean, that's really great. So
yeah, he captured it all. It was amazing.
That's really cool. But I just, like I said, once again, I want to thank every one of y'all for coming in and for contributing to the show, but more importantly, contributing to the game of geocaching and just raising everything to another level. It's just been really awesome. So, but next week, we have another great builder that's going to be on here.
Yep, in the chat
And
tonight.
he's been in the chat tonight several times. And maybe I don't know, we might get him to tell us some stories of something exploding too. But of course, we are talking about none other than Chad Tricashis from Gilby up there, the Disneyland of the North, and of geocaching. He will be on the show next week. And looking forward to that. Unfortunately, Chad and I will not be in the same room. We'll be in the same state.
I'll be in the same room.
You'll be in the same room. I won't be. But we'll be in the same state. I'll still have a different background behind me, but it's going to be a little bit different. Hopefully, my signal will be good. We'll see what happens. But we will be with Tricashis next week.
Back on our normal day.
Back on a normal day on Tuesday. So be looking for that. Lots of fun. And we'll probably come up with another challenge that we may release next week as well, and get everybody coming back on again with another build. So, but any last words from any of y'all?
Thank you so much, guys. This is awesome.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yes.
Thanks for being
Anytime
on.
you guys want to come on, send us an email. We're more than happy to have you guys on. We're always looking for guests and people to show off some stuff.
Right.
So.
And that also goes out to everybody that's watching or listening to this. You can email us at gadgettalkpodcast@gmail.com. Send us pictures. Let us know what you're wanting to talk about, and we'll work you into the schedule to get you in there. Also, don't forget to go check out us on Instagram and Twitter at Gadget Talk Podcast, and check that out. You can also message us through there as well. So, but I know this was just a phenomenal show. And yeah, we actually check this out, Chad. We went an hour and 22 minutes.
Yeah.
So, because this was just such a fun-packed show tonight, it was really great. And thank you for everybody for joining us. And I am looking forward to the next one. Fox, thanks for making geocaching fun for everyone. And that's I know that's why Chad and I are here, and I know that's why you guys are here. It's not about necessarily the favorite points, but bringing the smile to those people's faces that get out there and have fun and find these really great caches. So just really do appreciate it, and just thank you for everything that you all do for this great game that we all really do enjoy.
And if you like the podcast, make sure you hit that thumbs up button there. Like us.
Yes, like us. I don't think I have that one in this one. I have a brand thing on Summer, but it's not in
I
this
saw it
one.
on the other podcast.
Yeah, haven't put it in this one.
We're not that
Sorry.
special yet.
No, I haven't uploaded it. So, but
Derek's a very busy person.
yeah, I do this all the time. So yeah, so this is a lot of fun. Once again, just appreciate it. Smash that like button, give us a thumbs up, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Go check out Patreon, and even on the store, go to the store.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, almost forgot to mention. I should have mentioned this earlier. The coins, any of the coins for the Geocache Talk Network, they are selling out. We did a limited run on these. When they are sold out, they are sold out. And I already know that Puzzle Talk is gone. There are no more left of Puzzle Talk. So, but go check out the store. Easiest way to do it is go to geocachetalk.com and click on the store or the shop button at the top, and it'll take you right to the store, and you'll be able to get that. And of course, that's where you're going to be able to find the
ammo
cans, and we'll be looking at getting those other 2 ammo cans up later this month or next month. But within the month, we're looking at getting those up there. So definitely go check out the store and see what's all in there.
And we have 3 options for them in the store now. We added the third one, which is completely built, ready to go. You just take it out of the box, put the batteries in, and
set your
ready to go.
code, set your lock.
Set your lock combination
that you
But
provide.
It's soldered, everything's in there. You don't have to do anything to it really. You'll have to glue on the cover. You have to do that? No, because the batteries. Yeah, you actually don't have to do that.
So 3 options. Go check it out. Go check out the store. Get your ammo cans, and the other ones will be up there about the next month.
Yep.
So, but thanks everybody for joining us tonight once again, and this has been so much fun. I cannot tell you how much I've enjoyed actually being in here in the same room with Chad as we've done the podcast tonight. Just been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it has. It's been a blast. We've actually spent most of the day out in the heat finding some caches.
Yeah,
so.
and it feels good to be in the air conditioning. That is the white noise that you hear behind us because there's an air conditioner over here behind us.
Yeah, we're
So-
stuck in here while the kids are out in the pool.
I know. I think
Yeah.
it's time for us to go.
Yeah, we got to go.
It's only. Hey, I don't have to go to bed right now. It's only 7:30.
Yeah, it's only 7:30.
So, all right, everybody. We'll catch you next week here on Gadget Talk.
All right.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.